Hey guys, welcome to my new YouTube video. In this YouTube video, I'm gonna be covering a very controversial and a very hot topic involving certain members of the LGBTQ community, and of course involving the UFC. Of course, I'm gonna be talking about the UFC and all the controversy building up to UFC 297 here in Toronto, which happened just last week. But before I start on that, guys, first of all, I wanted to say thank you very much for watching all of my content. This is probably going to be my last video from this house. I am moving houses in a couple of days, so this is probably going to be the last video with this background. I'm also planning to upload a couple of YouTube shorts and a couple of Instagram reels later on today. However, once again, I'm moving houses in a couple of days and I'm gonna have a completely different background. I have already ordered some UFC related posters, and much more posters will be coming later on. So I'm still gonna be constantly improving my background, constantly gonna be improving my YouTube videos themselves, and of course my content is gonna improve from this point on. I know that these videos are not edited at all. So I'm gonna work on my editing skills in the future. I think that it's gonna take me some time to figure out how the YouTube works, and of course at the same time I'm also gonna be publishing some MMA articles as well. I was able to reach out to some UFC journalists and they were so kind. They responded to me. They gave me some of the smaller publications where I can ask who I can ask to publish my articles. So guys, a lot of different content is coming. It's always going to be constantly improving, so just stay patient. And I mean, I am not chasing any numbers. First of all, I'm looking to start this and gain some more experience first of all, and I'm sure that this channel is gonna grow massively, but it's probably gonna take some time, and I'm completely okay with that. Alright guys, so today I wanted to first of all talk about Alexander K. Lee, who is an apparent MMA journalist, as well as Rachel Gilmore, who is a TikTok influencer. Alright guys, so last week at Media Day, Alexander Lee came to the Media Day as a journalist, and he asked Sean Strickland very controversial questions. He didn't ask Sean Strickland about his fight. He didn't ask Sean Strickland any UFC fighting related questions. All he asked Sean Strickland was a series of repeated questions about his stance on the LGBTQ community. And here is what Alexander Lee had to say about his own comments. He spoke to Outsports, and this is what he said. "I come from a city that has a very strong LGBTQ community," Lee told Outsports after his encounter with Strickland. "I have never been comfortable with a lot of fighter stances on LGBTQ community issues, and he's been worse than most. I felt that it was my responsibility to communities in the city of Toronto to ask these questions." I mean, what an idiot. What an idiot. Guys, people like this shouldn't even be involved in the MMA field. They shouldn't even be ridiculous. They shouldn't even be close to MMA media. I don't even know how this guy even got there in the first place, but this guy is an absolute idiot, absolute retard. And guys, I have no problem with coming at Alexander Lee. I mean, I'm gonna tell my honest opinion about this. Guys, the LGBTQ community is apparently very vulnerable, very underrepresented, by the words of Alexander Lee, as well as Rachel Gilmore, who is a TikTok influencer, and she went on to call Sean Strickland a white trash bitch. She said that Sean Strickland's views are ridiculous. She said that Sean Strickland, that this event, which happened last week here in Toronto, should be cancelled because of Sean Strickland's traditional views, and because he does not want his future children to be gay, lesbian, to become transvestites. He said that being a transgender was an illness. It was a mental illness before, and now the Western media and the Western world is of course really behind the LGBTQ community. And Sean Strickland, he's a very traditional guy. He's very outspoken. He always speaks his mind, and that's why he is zero filter, and that's of course why why so many MMA fans resonate with him. That's why the MMA fans love him, is because of the man that Sean Strickland is. So yes, Sean Strickland, he went on, to fire some shots at the LGBTQ community in his interview. But I mean, guys, this is free. This is freedom of speech, right? This is free speech. I mean, Sean Strickland can say whatever the hell he wants to say. I can say whatever I want to say. Other people can talk whatever they want to talk. Why? And my question is to Alexandra Lee, as well as Rachel Gilmore. She blocked all of the comments on her Instagram page, so you can't even comment and reach her. But guys, why do you care about what Sean Strickland says? If you think that Sean Strickland is a white trash, stupid fighting kind of guy, then why do you even care about what his opinions on your community are? Why do you even care about what this man thinks? I'm so happy that Dana White, Dana White defended Sean Strickland, and he said, this is freedom of speech. He said, I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there is no leashes on them. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want. They can believe whatever they want. And I mean, guys, once again, I grew up in Kyrgyzstan. I have been living in the Western world for almost 10 years at this point. Kyrgyzstan is a very, very traditional, cultural, Muslim, Islamic country, and I am Muslim myself. However, when I was first leaving my home country to pursue my education, for example, in the UK and of course here in Canada, I always knew that I cannot carry those beliefs that my country my country instilled in me. I cannot carry those beliefs and come here to Canada and be anti-gay, be homophobic. I am by no means homophobic. I am by no means a hater of the LGBTQ community. I just want nothing to do with it. I just don't want it to be associated with myself in any way or form. I don't want my kids in the future to go to schools and from a very young age be brainwashed into these LGBTQ rainbow flags are everywhere. Walk around Toronto, walk around any city in Canada, walk around any neighborhood. These communities are not underrepresented. These are not vulnerable communities, guys. Stop the bullshit. There is LGBTQ flags every single way, everywhere, in every corner. Of course, the Western world, the Western government and everyone here, they really support these communities, and these people can do well. These people are not in any harm or in any danger. So guys, please stop the bullshit. Look around the world. Look at what's happening in the Middle East. Look at what's happening, just look at what's happening in third world countries. There is kids dying, there is people dying, there is people whose lives are in danger. There is wars going on around the world. There is much worse things happening in the world. And then we got, stupid idiots like Rachel Gilmore and stupid idiots like Alexandra K. Lee, being so butthurt, being, so, traumatized, emotional pain, psychological damage, blah, blah, blah. Guys, you guys are just you guys are not even reporters. You guys are not even journalists. You guys are just trying to get some clickbait, just trying to get some attention on your name. You guys are so soft, like Sean Strickland said that the West became so soft. The Western community is so soft nowadays. People are just all in their feelings, and people don't know what real life struggles are. Guys, Rachel Gilmore, Alex Lee, asking for Sean Strickland to be cancelled, asking for this event to be cancelled, asking him to, be more supportive of the LGBTQ community. Guys, shut the hell up, These people don't even know Sean Strickland's, life story. Sean Strickland had a very difficult upbringing. He had a very difficult childhood. He had an abusive father. You guys, Alex Lee and, Rachel Gilmore and, these kinds of people, you guys, have never even went, you guys in your life, have never even experienced the difficulties that this man, has experienced. You guys don't even know what it's like to really struggle. You guys are born here in Canada, proudly representing your LGBTQ community, a very strong community, apparently, in this city of Toronto. But you guys don't really know what it's like to suffer. You guys don't know what it's like to live in third world countries where, people live in poverty, where, kids are dying, and all these things are happening, and you guys have never experienced the difficult childhood that Sean Strickland experienced. This guy, Sean Strickland, he didn't break. His own father used to be abusive, used to beat him up daily until 3 a.m. at night, and this didn't break Sean Strickland. He didn't say that he has psychological damage, and that he's he didn't use this as that he didn't use this as that pill to complain and to have people support him and blah blah blah. No, this man, he didn't break mentally. He kept training, he kept pursuing his dream, and he became a UFC world champion. This guy has accomplished so much more. He's been through so much more than you stupid idiots talking about coming at Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland can think whatever he wants to think about the LGBTQ community and about anything else in the world. I'm happy that the UFC is not like the NBA, not like the NFL. The UFC allows freedom of speech. Dana White allows freedom of speech. Everyone is welcome to think what they want to think, and talk what they want to talk, and have their own beliefs about any topic. And guys, coming from Kyrgyzstan, there is a UFC fighter. His name is Miktybek Oralbay. If you guys Google Miktybek Oralbay, all you're gonna see is memes about about our Kyrgyzstan UFC fighter. Memes, saying that he looks like memes that he looks retarded. Memes like saying that he looks like Shavkat Rahmonov's retarded cousin. Saying that he is mentally ill. Saying that he looks, that his appearance looks prehistoric. I mean, guys, Miktybek Oralbay, he was born in Kyrgyzstan. He probably lived in the mountains in a small village all of his life. Now he became a UFC fighter. This guy, is proudly representing my country, and the Western media, the Western world, the Western audience is all abusing and bullying this guy Miktybek Oralbay. But do you guys see Miktybek Oralbay post on social media that he's hurt, that his feelings have been hurt, that he's traumatized, and that he's a vulnerable member of the community? No, of course not. Miktybek Oralbay, he doesn't care. He's strong, he has backbone, just like Sean Strickland does. He has experienced real life. He grew up and lived in a third world country. He lived in poverty. The man built himself. The man went through real adversity, through real challenges, and that's what I wish people understand. Like, guys, Kyrgyzstan and people from Kyrgyzstan, people from Central Asia, countries like Kazakhstan, there is many reports saying that somehow we are biologically related to the indigenous population. And I mean, guys, indigenous population here in Canada, indigenous people, we always respect them because we acknowledge them, that we live on their lands, and all of this stuff. You guys never come out at members of the indigenous community and start making fun of their appearance and saying that they look prehistoric, that they look retarded or something like that. Why not? If you're coming at a Kyrgyzstan fighter and a person from Kyrgyzstan, then why don't you dare to do the same thing to a person from the indigenous community here in Canada? I mean, we are blood related. Kyrgyz people and people of the people of the indigenous community, there is some kind of a biological relation between us. I mean, even if you look at us, you will see that there are some or many visual similarities that we carry between each other. So that's a topic that no one talked about, but that is true. So guys, Alex Lee, Rachel Gilmore, I hope you learn from this. I hope that watching Rachel's TikToks and watching her speak about Sean Strickland, I'm so disgusted by her. She's that typical white Western girl, and those kinds of people, they just disgust me. You are I mean, you are so privileged, you don't even know what real life is, and I mean, you're just a disgusting, despicable human being. Honestly, I don't want to associate with Rachel and with Alex Lee in any way, shape, or form. These people are, completely, they're just trying. They have nothing to do with the UFC. They're not MMA fans. They just came out here, to rant about the apparently vulnerable community that it's not. The LGBT community here in Canada. I have no problem with it. I am not homophobic by any means. You guys do you, but please don't come out to these sporting events and just try to get some clickbait. Just try to become famous off of this. Because let me tell you, your LGBTQ community, at least here in the Western world, you guys are not you guys are not a vulnerable community. You guys are not, there's nothing threatening your life. There's nothing, no one judging you. There's nothing like that. Look around the world. Freaking hell, wake up. There's kids dying every single day, but for some reason, those things are not hurting you. Those things are not, you don't even care about those things. You don't care that there's kids dying. You don't care that, the world, that there's so many people struggling in the world. You don't care about the Middle East, all the wars happening, all the people dying. All you care about is just, say that, you're from a vulnerable LGBTQ community, and apparently some UFC fighter, said some bad stuff about that. So now you're so, mentally and psychologically hurt. I mean, stop the bullshit, please. Wake up, grow a backbone if you don't have one, and I know you don't have one, and just, become a decent human being for once. You're so privileged. You grew up in the West. You always had everything, under your arm. You have a great government, always supporting you. I mean, you don't even know what it's like to experience real life. So please stop the bullshit. Once again, a huge shout out to people, to the real OGs of the fight game. People like Muktebek Oralbay, of course, people like Sean Strickland. These guys are legends. These guys are real men, real hardworking men. And I applaud them and I respect them. Once again, like Dana White has said, this is freedom of speech. Everyone can, think and talk whatever they want. And, growing up in Kyrgyzstan, one of the main reasons I wanted to come to the Western world was, to live freely. It's to live freely, no longer be afraid to speak my mind, to no longer be afraid, that if I say something on the internet, then I will, get killed the next day, because things like that happen in Kyrgyzstan. And now I'm here in Canada. I started my own YouTube channel, just a simple guy from Kyrgyzstan, living in Canada, and I'm just sharing my own opinions. But guys, that was that. I just want to sum this all up. So that was my me firing shots at these idiots such as Rachel Gilmore and Alex Lee, and people like that should never even be close to our sport, because our sport is for real decent and real fighters, both male, female, whatever. But don't come out here and don't be ridiculous. Once again, a huge shout out to all the real fans, a huge shout out to everyone, to all the real athletes. You guys make this sport. You guys, inspire people. For example, last week I also got to meet Luke Rockhold, who was the former UFC middleweight champion. I even got to wrestle with Luke Rockhold. After our wrestling, Luke came up to me and he said, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, "My name is Maksat." And he was like, "You're from Kyrgyzstan, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Hey, buddy, great wrestling. You have some great skills. You have a great ground game." And guys, to hear that from a UFC legend, Luke Rockhold, it just shook my world. It meant so much to me. It broke my heart. I, almost started, crying there. It meant so much to me. Guys, it's things like that, that matter in this sport. I was a small boy in Kyrgyzstan, growing up in Kyrgyzstan, watching Luke Rockhold's fights. I was inspired by him. He's he's someone, who motivated me, through my hardships in life. And I got to meet him, and he told me that I have, great wrestling. He, commended me, he applauded me, he said, hey, you know, nice wrestling skills and all that, and that meant the world to me. And there is millions of small kids around the world who, you know, aspire to be like these professional athletes. And you know, it's things like that this sport is all about. It's things like that mixed martial arts is all about respect, about belief, about building that strong community. So guys, people like this shouldn't be in our sport. You know, good job, Rachel, trying to cancel the UFC main event. Better luck to you next time, but you know, you're far off. So yeah, guys, once again, I'm moving houses in a couple of days, so next time you guys see a video from me, it's gonna be a different background. But hey guys, you know, let's keep going, let's keep pushing. You guys have a great day, have a great weekend. You know, just keep working, keep believing in yourself, and you know, don't listen to anyone else's opinions about, you know, about yourself. You know, don't listen to all the negativity. You know, be strong, guys. You know, have that warrior spirit in whatever it is that you pursue in your life. So let's keep going.